I saw you talking in my comments, and you wanted to know how bigger infinites work if infinity isn't a number. So to explain this, I'm going to break down numbers. Our standard mathematics basically have this privilege of having things make sense. As you go up, say, the integer number line, their cardinality and ordinality both increase. Now, what the fuck is cardinality and ordinality? Cardinality is the number of things in a set. So for example, when we say the number 2, we're using that as shorthand of a set of all the integers after 0 that lead up to 2, i.e. 1 and 2. It has that cardinality of 2. 3 has higher cardinality. It has a cardinality of 3. Again, simplification here. And for all the numbers that we do number stuff with, like basic number stuff with, this is true. The number increases, its cardinality increases. In addition, its ordinality increases. Ordinality basically has to do with order. 2 comes after 1 in the number line. 3 comes after 2. If you were to count to 3, you'd have to go through 1 and 2 first. Therefore, it has ordinality after 1 and 2. So again, the numbers we work with, cardinality and ordinality, are kind of linked. But with infinities, they're not necessarily linked. In set theory, you could have something that is greater than Aleph null. Aleph null is basically the set of infinite as we usually think of infinite, like the set of all infinite integers. Now, you can have a number that comes after that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has greater numbers in its set. And you could have a number that has greater numbers in its set, but that doesn't necessarily mean it comes after that. The work we do in set theory, the work we do with infinities, is describing properties of sets. And those properties don't have to behave like normal numbers do. And that's why in set theory we say stuff like Aleph null instead of infinity. Because infinity by definition includes everything forever. It goes on and on and on. And it's very loosely defined. It's a concept. So to make it more strictly defined, we can call a sort of infinity Aleph null, and then talk about bigger infinities from there. But Aleph null is not equal to the concept of infinity. The concept of infinity is still everything. It's kind of like there are an infinite number of fractions between 0 and 1. So like when people try to say, oh, there is a bigger infinity and thus it is a greater quantity, that's not necessarily true. Depending on what you're talking about, it means that there's either a bigger set or there's a number that comes after it ordinally, but neither of these necessarily mean the magnitude has gotten any bigger. Which is why when power scalars say that anime characters can destroy multiple infinities, it makes literally no sense mathematically or scientifically.